Hello, right now is August 19th, 2:09 p.m. So right now I had to talk about my dad, the Greedy Farmer. Basically, my dad, the Greedy Farmer, is a very aggressive individual. He likes to get revenge on people. Mainly, he would get revenge on people before they even do something to him. We know this for a fact due to the fact that he found out about my brain savant. He understood that he was not going to get a single penny out of that money, and so he has already gotten into the task of getting revenge for not getting that money by making fully fabricated false testimonies. First, he had his Framer sisters and law enforcement make November 20th false testimony that he begged both of them to make against me. Then he had numerous more lies to make against me, already pre-planned with his Framer sisters to be making against me in January. Now, he made these lies throughout the month of January very aggressively, not to give me a life sentence, but to give me a death sentence. My dad, the Greedy Framer, wanted to make sure that I would die, only to make sure that the brain savant money that he knows about could not go to my mother. Then in early April, so then after that, he's told on February 10th that the courts were fully aware that these were complete and total lies. What does he do then? Instead of even arguing against it, due to the fact that he knew that they were pre-planned lies, he goes into advertising incest to me. So basically, the entire month of February and March, all my dad, the Greedy Framer, does is advertise incest to me. So this was first sent to me on February 11th at 3:17 a.m. And he was told at this time that sending your sister Farah's name on it, right over there with a porn star named Sunny Leone's name on it, is an open advertisement for incest. And yet, look at the date over there. This is March 7th, sent to me 3 times on March the 7th. Why? Because on February 11th at 3:17 a.m., he was told that this is an open advertisement for incest, but he did not care since he wanted the illegal assurance of money. Now, this is obviously a porn star that whose picture he was sending, whose name he was sending with his sister's name attached to it. So basically, yes, my dad, the Greedy Farmer, only 3 days after that, 3 days after sending me that, he is also advertising for incest with his other sister offering the big fat ugly old fart starting March 10th and every single day after March 10th. So this is March 13th, even though it was labeled as open advertisement for incest to be sending pictures of a woman resembling your sister to me every single day. This is March 13th and this is March 17th, just to give you an idea of the fact that this psychotic man was doing this every single day. So the entire month of February and March, all he was doing was sending me open advertisements for incest. To try to get illegal assurances of money from me. Other ones that he sent, I could also show you as well. So basically, yes, let me show you something else. So this is marked as an open advertisement for incest on March the 4th with his sister. And then on July 21st, he's still sending it to me right over there. So yes, he knew that this was open advertisement for incest, and yet he was still sending it to me. The entire day of March 12th, he was advertising incest with his own ugly, old, disgusting looking, abnormal looking wife. And so then he puts up Star Wars to try to make it look like, oh, I was just putting up Star Wars pictures, when in fact that's not what he was doing. He was trying to advertise incest the entire day of March 12th, 2026 with his abnormal looking, ugly, weirdo, disgusting, abnormal looking wife. If you don't believe me, just ask law enforcement. They'll tell you that he asked law enforcement to advertise his wife for incest on March the 12th, is how disgusting this individual is. Then now, you might be thinking that, oh, well, he might like people to commit incest. Well, we don't know if he does or if he doesn't, but here is the thing that literally proves to us that this is all about money. his sisters were basically sending me blackmail price tags for millions of dollars to me each and every single day, with the most current one, with the most repeated one being $60 million. So that was sent to me for the first time on February 21st, and sent to me literally almost every other day, almost 8 times. This was sent to me for the first time on February 21st. Look at the date over there. This is March the 5th. So this is a blackmail price tag for $60 million. The entire month of February and March, after getting caught with their second set of lies in the entire month of January, the courts informing them that the courts were fully aware that these were complete and total lies. On February 10th, this was their behavior starting right after February 10th. Starting February 21st, they sent me this blackmail price tag for $60 million right over here, at least 8 times. They sent this blackmail price tag for $60 million to me at least 8 times. And this date right over here is March the 5th. And this is a blackmail price tag for $60 million right over there. Yes. So, yeah. And there you have it. Now, the thing that you have to understand is the fact that my dad, the greedy framer, is a psychotic individual. He likes to get revenge. He's very aggressive. As a 5-year-old child, I would watch him beat my mother every single day. And after beating her up, he would literally laugh out loud. My mother talked about it on the phone in my conversation from Russia. She also talks about it numerous other times about how disgusting of an individual my dad, the greedy framer, is. He lies about everything. He's not a medical doctor. He never gave his board exams in any country in the world. Law enforcement knows this fact as the infographics incident, where my dad, the greedy framer, walked into a hospital and tried to convince them, like how he tried to scam the courts multiple times till he got caught every single time. He tried to convince the hospital, about the fact that he tried to tell the hospital that he was a medical doctor, only for them to find out that he had not given his board exams in any country in the world. He was not a licensed doctor in any country in the world. You have to do a whole lot of house job and all of those things. It's called residencies. He's never done a single day of it. He's never given his board exams. He lied about being a medical doctor. And so in the infographics incident, the law enforcement will tell the courts that he was kicked out of that hospital, obviously, because that hospital found out that he was not a licensed doctor in any country in the world. So basically, that was known as the infographics incident, and you can ask law enforcement about that. Then he lied about, so he's not a medical doctor, he's not a physician's assistant either. He used to work to help doctors out at hospitals, and then he never got along with them, due to which he is right now not working at all. He's just getting his gambling throw from this trial. But now that a lot of his lies have been caught, he would send me a blackmail price tag for millions of dollars. I'll show you in a second. And then he would get rejected by me. I would give law enforcement a strong no, telling them they have to tell him he will never get a single penny out of me. He has to know about this. So law enforcement will tell him that, and then he would get revenge from me. Now, right now, he cannot get revenge from me by making more lies against me. So he's going to claim that I'm dumb, stupid, low IQ, bad exam taker, terrible at giving exams. I'll explain to the courts how these lies cannot be true, since if they were true, they would have just used it on August the 7th, instead of having Adamji create these lies from a fifth person, telling him all this fabrication material and giving it to them. Law enforcement having all of this done from like 10,000 miles away, they would have just used the evidence that apparently my dad, the quote-unquote evidence, has, which obviously he does not have. If he did, then law enforcement would have just used it themselves, which they didn't do. Instead, they were fabricating on August the 7th. So basically, yes. The thing that I have to let the courts know about is the fact that my dad is a pathological liar, first of all. He never went to that university he claims he went to in Ireland. After he went there, he never even stepped foot in it. He never even, literally never even went on their website. Forget applying there. He never even went on their website. So he's obviously lying about that as well. He lied about November 20th. He had his framer sisters and law enforcement fabricate that false testimony against me. He made numerous lies against me throughout the entire month of January, and he was absolutely sure that he'd given me a not a life sentence, but a death sentence. He was absolutely sure by the end of January he'd given me a death sentence through those lies. On February 10th, he was informed by the courts that they were aware that these were complete and total lies, mainly due to the fact that his framer sister, Ibrahim's greedy, envious mother, asked government informant right before November 20th, after telling him as the first thing that she had nothing but lies against me, and then she was given an entire day to think it over, and the next day she told the government informant she had nothing but lies against me, and then she asked the government informant to basically help her out with more lies that were pre-planned. Those were the January lies that my dad made throughout the entire month of January. He was so sure he'd already given me a death sentence after that month. Then obviously after he was told on February 10th that the courts were aware that these were lies, all he did the entire month of February and March was send me incest requests to ask me if I was willing to commit incest with his framer sisters or not, in exchange for illegal assurances of money. Now, I am going to show the courts, obviously, the incest request. So this is the first one. This was sent to me first time, February 11th. So he's told the night of February 10th that this is that the courts were fully aware of the fact that he was full of lies for the entire month of January, nothing else. The reason the courts knew was due to the fact that his framer sister, Ibrahim's greedy, envious mother, asked the government informant after she told him as the very first thing that she had nothing but lies against me. She was given an entire day to think it over, and then the next day she comes over and she says, no, I have nothing but lies against Hassan. Now, the thing about it is just the fact that afterwards what ends up happening is she tells the government informant, I have some more lies, can you help me with those were the early January lies that my dad, the greedy farmer, made all the way up until February the 10th. Now, February 11th at 3:17 a.m., he sends me this picture. Now, I know it says March 7th on there, but this is because it's the one for March 7th. So the first time this was sent to me was February 11th at 3:17 a.m. And he was told that this is an open advertisement for incest, since that is a porn star's name with your sister first name on it. And he was already told about this. He did not care. And on March the 7th, as shown right over here, he sends it to me 3 times. Again, now, yes. So then he doesn't just stop there. He sends me pictures of a woman resembling his sister offering to me on March the 10th and every single day afterwards. This is the one for March the 13th. And then obviously he sends it every single day afterwards. So this is the one from March the 17th. So yes, the man is very psychotic, and his framer sisters obviously were sending me blackmail price tags throughout the entire month of February and March, with this one being starting February 21st and for $60 million. And this, look at the date over there, this is March 5th. So on February 21st, I had already informed them that I was not going to pay this money no matter what. And they still sent it to me 8 times, and the date over here is March the 5th. So basically, yes, his framer sisters were also blackmailing me with price tags of millions of dollars all day and night long. Then, except for that, so my dad, the greedy farmer, he's basically a pathological liar. Right now, my dad, the greedy farmer, is yelling at his own framer sisters all day and night long, telling them that they betrayed him. Now, why is he saying that you betrayed me? Mainly due to the fact that obviously my dad, the greedy farmer, begged his framer sisters and law enforcement to fabricate November 20th. That was under a law enforcement, government informant's witness testimony. He witnessed the entire thing himself. Yes. And so then after that, he could have gotten away with early January lies, but he wasn't able to, mainly due to the fact that his framer sister told the government informant as the very first thing that she had nothing but lies against me. She was given an entire day to think it over. The next day she came up and she said, I have nothing but lies against Hassan. And she then told him about pre-planned lies that they had against me for the entire month of January. So This is why my dad, the greedy framer, is yelling at his framer sisters right now. He still wanted to use those lies against me. He cannot use those lies against me, mainly due to the fact that it's already been confessed to being a lie, due to which right now my dad, the greedy framer, is calling his greedy, envious sisters, mainly Ibrahim's greedy, envious mother, yelling at her and saying that she betrayed him. Why is he's saying this? He's saying this because of the fact that she let the government informant know that the early January lies were completely, totally fabricated, just like how November 20th was, and just like how early April was. But my dad, the greedy farmer, right now, he's very angry right now due to the fact that he cannot stop my brain savant from getting freed, mainly due to the fact that those lies that he worked so hard on, pre-planned it with Ibrahim's greedy, envious mother, made sure that he could not get caught on those lies. She went and she gave it all away to the government informant, due to which right now my dad, the greedy framer, is calling her, yelling at her, saying that she betrayed him, basically saying that right now Hassan's brain savant's going to get freed and everything artificial intelligence said about his brain savant is going to come true, and my Hassan's mother is going to get all the money, and I don't even have a job right now. I'm going to sit on the side and watch them have all this money while I will have absolutely nothing. So he is calling Ibrahim's greedy, envious mother. He's yelling at her and saying that it's all her, basically saying that she betrayed him, and this is exactly what he means. What he means is, you did not have to tell the government informant that you had more lies planned out for January, you idiot. Why did you tell him this? Is basically why he's yelling at her. He's yelling at her for betraying her, pretty much. So yes, basically, after he's gotten caught with all those lies, he tries to play. He tries to play the game of Uncle Joey said this is around Hassan when Hassan was being adult supervised. The thing about that is, not only is the facts and evidences clearly show that my mother would not be present there due to her working, but also the fact that she had already talked to law enforcement about it from beforehand and let them know that I was going to be adult supervised by one of law enforcement's own BFFs, like Uncle Joey, or the people that they commit their sex schemes or money fraud with, till right now, only stopped about 2 months ago, and that it would continue till I would gain the slightest bit of mental maturity as a child. Now, the thing about it is just the fact that my mother would not be present there. She had already gotten permission from before from law enforcement. There was no crime committed, due to which there is no crime. There could only be blame. There cannot be any crime towards anyone. And then except for that, as soon as I gained the slightest bit of mental maturity as a child, I was never even remotely seen in any settings where anything even remotely considered bad could ever be said around me ever again. It was not due to me going overseas or anything like that. I stayed with my mother after I gained the slightest bit of mental maturity as a child for years before I went anywhere in life. Clearly proving from facts and evidences that it was only due to me needing adult supervision, and only temporarily, daily, only until I gained the slightest bit of mental maturity as a child, with another piece of evidence coming out, being the PAL Center membership. The PAL Center is a center right across the street from my elementary school, that was designed for single mothers working at fast food restaurants who could not afford daycare for their children. It was basically a work of charity that police officers did, where they would watch people's children for free. Obviously, no one's going to get a membership there if it wasn't absolutely needed. So that membership obviously is other piece of evidence there is, where my mother walked me over there 27 years ago when I was a 9-year-old child, and signed me up at the PAL Center for me to be adult supervised by police officers while she was working. So that is the biggest piece of evidence that we have. So basically, my dad, the greedy framer, after all his lies are caught, he cannot point the finger and say that Uncle Joey said this around Hassan when Hassan was being adult supervised. For one, I never saw Uncle Joey again after I was a child, mainly due to the fact that he was caught with an online chat that was really dirty. And the other thing is, obviously, law enforcement has been BFFs till this very day with Uncle Joey. But the fact of the matter pertaining to this trial is the fact that Uncle Joey could have only have said anything even remotely considered bad around me, and that would not be a crime. It would only carry blame. The blame would go with Uncle Joey and the other people who would know about it. Obviously, my mother could not be there. The entire point of him adult supervising me was that my mother was at work, which means that if I was being adult supervised by Uncle Joey, she would definitely not be there, and the facts and evidences will also prove this fact as well. Which means that the only people to be blamed would be Uncle Joey or whoever law enforcement's BFS would be adult supervising me that they ran sex schemes and money fraud with, along with now along with law enforcement for knowing about it and doing absolutely nothing about it. So there's no crime over here, but there is blame, and the blame also goes to law enforcement, mainly due to the fact that they were adults. They saw that there's something bad that anyone said, even remotely, and obviously the child blame's not going to go to the child, but law enforcement has to take the blame for this. Mainly due to the fact that they knew about it, and till this very day today, all they've done is provide Uncle Joey with top-notch intelligence, a protocol that would envy a sitting governor, and literally money fraud and all these things that they've been running. Anyways, so his child thing was out, and my dad, the greedy farmer, now was very angry, mainly due to the fact that he'd worked really hard for those lies that almost gave me a death sentence in the entire month of January. Those lies, my dad, the greedy farmer, worked really hard on to make sure that my brain savant would stay locked up very enviously, and his sisters, basically greedy, envious framer sister, Ibrahim's greedy, envious mother, went and told the law government informant everything about how these are pre-planned lies to make sure my brain savant could not get freed even after November 20th, due to which right now my dad, the greedy framer, in his anger is calling his framer sisters and yelling at them, saying that they betrayed him. Why is he saying this? He's saying that due to the fact that it was obviously something that they didn't have to tell the government informant about, but they still chose to do so, which is very funny indeed. So obviously, the other reason he is saying this is so that his framer sisters would just be like, "No, don't worry, you can still go and say these something along this line," where he would get the message that they didn't absolutely betray him. But obviously, they're not going to say this, mainly due to the fact that they did absolutely betray him, and they told the government informant everything. Due to which, if my dad, the greedy framer, repeats those lies that were pre-planned for the month of January, he would look like a complete and total idiot, which he cannot say over the phone, and he can't go over to their house and pre-plan anything, mainly due to the fact that he's banned from the U.S. and England. I witnessed him in 2011 encouraging people to go join terror groups, due to which they had to put a government informant next to him in his house. So yes, obviously, even before 2011, when he would come over to the U.S., the FBI would be forced to follow him around everywhere. They would go and talk to Ibrahim's envious mother and ask her why my dad, the greedy framer, was even coming over to the U.S., and she would tell the FBI, "Get out of my property, you're harassing me, this and that." This is the kind of treatment no one just randomly gets, okay? My dad, the greedy framer, was definitely encouraging people to go join terror groups, and he was basically, what ended up happening was one of the people that he asked to go join terror groups ended up being a government informant, due to which then he gets caught, and now he's banned from the U.S. and England. I'm laughing due to the fact that a lot of these blackmail price tags happen to be for U.S. and England, and he cannot go to these places, which makes it really funny because he's sending me blackmail price tags. He wants this house in London, and guess what? He can't go to that house in London, or he's sending me for a blackmail price tag for a place in the U.S., and guess what? He cannot go to that place in the U.S. So this is a Beverly Hills mansion with his nickname Mona written on it on July the 9th, and the funny part is he cannot go to. If I bought this, it would only be me and my mother going there, because he cannot go to Beverly Hills. It's in the U.S. He's banned from entering the U.S. And this one is So basically, yes, and he has all these. So this one is in England, and he cannot go there in England. Well, let me just find you the one in ones in London. So okay, so basically, yeah. So this one is in Mayfair, London. It's supposed to be a billionaire's neighborhood in London. He cannot go to this place. This is from April the 13th. He can't go there, and he's telling me that I have to buy this for him as a blackmail price tag. It'd be funny after my brain savant gets freed, I end up buying it, and like he's just like, I can't go there. I'd probably be like, that's not my problem. The blackmail price tag deal was I buy it. You never said I get you a visa there. So this one is for the Mayfair in London. It's for 26.5 million euros, to 26.25 million euros. This is like $100 million mansion right here. Yeah, something like that. You could tell by looking at it. This is also in Mayfair, London. It just so happens that if I end up buying it, it would only be me and my mother going there because he's banned from going there. He sent a government informant to go join a terror group. So they're not going to let him into his country, obviously not. So yes, so these blackmail price tags came from my dad, the greedy framer. And so just recently, what ended up happening was on July the 7th, my dad, the greedy framer, was enviously arguing that my brain savant doesn't exist. It doesn't have any monetary potential. I'm low IQ, dumb, stupid, bad exam taker, all of these things about me on July the 7th. Now, 2 days later, on July the 9th, when June 24th, from only 2 months ago, was overanalyzed, the brain savant test was overanalyzed. Guess what? We found out that so June 24th was overanalyzed, and we found out that my dad, the greedy farmer, was the first person on so July 7th, he's arguing that my brain savant doesn't exist, doesn't have any monetary potential, I'm low IQ, dumb, stupid, bad exam taker, terrible at prepping for exams, this and that, blah blah blah. And on July the 9th, he is the first person to send me these blackmail price tags. Basically, yes. So July the 9th at 10:36 p.m. This one has his nickname Mona written on it, right over there. It's for $11.5 million, and all the rest of them are all going to be for euros. So this is July the 9th, and this one is for 6.2 million euros. Okay, so this one is 10.7 million euros. This is July the 10th, 10.7 million euros. This one is for a mansion, I guess, in Scotland. I don't know if he's allowed to even go there or not, but he's not. He's banned from the U.S. and England. I know this for a fact. So basically, this one is the 2 million euros. Okay. This one is also 2 million euros. It just sent at a different time. Okay. This one is 6.2 million euros. He will never get a penny out of me, by the way. I'm just letting you know he will never get a single penny out of me. But just letting you know about his double standard. So this one is July the 10th, and this one is 300,000 euros. Okay. This one is July the 10th, and this one is 75 million euros. Okay, he can't go there, by the way. That's in England. He cannot go there. Yeah, he can't go there. So this one is this is this one right over here, 6.25 million euros. Okay. This one, again, one more time, 6.25 million euros, right over there, sent at a different time. Then he sends me the one for 75 million euros, again, 75 million euros. And then he keeps sending that 75 million euros. I wouldn't even give this psychotic man 75 cents. So this is 1.25 million euros. Complete and total psycho is what he is. This one is going to be 1.25 million euros. Right over there. Okay. Yeah. This one is 8.5 million euros. Okay. This one is 8.5 million euros. And then he does these sympathy gaining tricks of trying to say, I heard you struck my son. Oh my God, please don't cry about it. The reason for this, despite spending the entire month of January making lies against me to try to give me a death sentence so that my mother could not get any of the brain savant money that he knows he won't ever get a single penny of, he tries these sympathy gaining missions to try to get sympathy from me while blackmailing me with these price tags of millions of euros. Thankfully, he doesn't send any more London properties anymore because that was just funny. If if I did end up getting any of these properties, mainly it would just be me and my mother going here. He can't get a visa for this place. Sent to me on April the 13th. This is the billionaires neighborhood in London that he sent me a blackmail price tag for. This is March the 1st, 8:32 p.m. Billionaires neighborhood of London, 26.25 million euros. Okay. This is also part of the billionaire neighborhood of London, April the 4th. Okay. In Mayfair, London. Okay. Yeah, so this is incredibly hilarious that he would even send these. The fact of the matter is, the courts have to understand the fact that my dad, the greedy framer, is a pathological liar. Not only did he lie about November 20th, he lied about the entire month of January. He was full of lies that his framer sister had already confessed to the government informant as being pre-planned lies that she had they had basically pre-planned from before to be made against me. So my dad, the greedy framer, is basically a pathological liar. Then in the entire month of February and March, all he does is send me blackmail price tags like the London ones for millions of dollars that you just saw right now. Mayfair, London, where he cannot even go. He's banned from going due to sending a government informant over to go join a terror group. He tried the entire month of February and March to try to get me to basically commit incest with his sisters in exchange for illegal assurances of money. You saw the money amounts from just July 9th and July 10th last month. So the London ones were also all full of money. He wanted properties in Mayfair neighborhood of London that he sent me blackmail price tags for. The funny part about it is he cannot go there due to the fact that he is banned from going to England or the US, which makes this absolutely hilarious. Now, he cannot claim that he was just sending me these because he asked for these starting February 17th at 3:02 a.m. So you have to understand the history of this man. Obviously, he's a pathological liar. He's not a medical doctor. And if you don't believe me, ask law enforcement what the infographics incident was where he was kicked out of a hospital for trying to scam them into thinking that he was a medical doctor. They found out he's not licensed to be a doctor in any country in the world. He also lied to the courts about going to a university in England, or in Ireland, sorry, after moving there, when in fact he never even went on that university's website before. He never even went on their website before. Forget going there. He never even went on their website before. He obviously never stepped foot in that university. He never even applied there. He never even went on their website before. So obviously he was lying. He just heard about their university's name. He just said it out there. He lied about pretty much every single thing in this trial until right now. All he did the entire month of February and March was send me incest requests due to what artificial intelligence has labeled me as having literally the most rare and the most profitable brain savant in the world right now. So basically, I have instantaneous photographic memory, innovation, and focusing. And you have to understand the fact that what makes my brain savant extremely rare is the fact that I have literally the only brain savant in the world right now that grows in power over time. After law enforcement found out about that in mid-May 2023, they basically did not, so they did their test in mid-May 2023. They got the result in mid-June 2023. After mid-June 2023, they did not ever let me stare into a textbook ever again. Before then, for 4 years between October 2019 and mid-June 2023, all I would do from morning till night is stare into a textbook because it would give me pleasure, like the kind of pleasure I got watching documentaries on January 20th, 2026, when they tested out the childhood part of my brain savant when I was a 9-year-old child watching documentaries. You can ask law enforcement about how they have a time machine, and what happened on January 20th, 2026. They'll tell you. Anyways, so basically, yes, that is what pretty much happened. And so, yeah. So basically, my dad, the Greedy Framer, he is a pathological liar. He lied about November 20th. He lied about all the false testimonies that he made throughout the entire month of January. There were complete and total lies that his Framer sisters had already confessed to the government informant as being complete and total lies. Now, then afterwards, what he ended up doing was on February 10th, he was told by the courts that they were fully aware of the fact that every single thing that he'd said in January, even after being given another chance, after fabricating and creating mass panic and chaos on November 20th through his Framer sisters begging them to create that false testimony against me, every single thing that my dad, the Greedy Framer, said in the entire month of January until February 10th was a complete and total lie, due to his Framer sister already confessing that to the government informant. My dad, the Greedy Framer, obviously does not argue against it to the courts. Instead, he goes into a panic thinking about the money that he had just lost. The entire month of February and March, all my dad, the Greedy Framer, basically does is he tries to send me requests for incest with his big fat ugly old sisters in exchange for illegal assurances of money. While his Framer sisters are sending me requests for me to marry their daughter, like Ibrahim's sister sent to me 3 times on March the 9th. This girl over here resembles Ibrahim's sister almost identically. This was sent to me on March the 9th 3 times. Okay, so yes, and the entire month of February and the entire month of March, all my dad, the Greedy Framer, did was send me incest requests for his sisters. This is March 7th, even though it was already marked as an incest request on February 11th at 3:17 a.m. He still sent it to me, despite it being a porn star and him being told that this is an incest request on February 11th at 3:17 a.m. Then you also have okay, so he tried this the entire month of February and March with as much as he possibly could. With pretty much all of his sisters. This is his other one. The entire month of February, this was sent to me starting March 10th. It was sent to me, and then that was March 13th. So this is March 17th. This man is a sociopath. He has some serious addiction problems. He's obsessed with money. Okay, so yes, so basically what ends up happening is the Brain Savant test is overanalyzed for June 24th, and then basically first it's only analyzed at first, and so then what he ends up doing is he starts sending me blackmail price tags once again on July the 9th, basically starting July the 9th as soon as it gets overanalyzed. You have to understand the fact that on July the 7th, he's arguing in court that my Brain Savant doesn't exist. It's I'm low IQ, dumb, stupid, and all of these things about me. And yet on July the 10th, he's sending me blackmail price tags for millions of euros all day and night long. So yes, my dad, the Greedy Framer, basically, this is what he does when the Brain Savant test for June 24th is first analyzed. Now, you have to understand the fact that after it gets overanalyzed, my dad, the Greedy Framer, basically what he ends up doing is he so this is when it gets slightly analyzed, like overanalyzed at first. Now, what ends up happening is law enforcement does not stop analyzing it. They analyze it pretty much every single day, all day and night long is what law enforcement does. When law enforcement does this and they analyze it literally every single day, all day and night long, my dad, the Greedy Framer, obviously gets extremely greedy. And what he ends up doing is he ends up starting to advertise his in-laws, saying that I'm going to find you a woman from my in-laws for you to sleep with. This is August the 11th. This is August the 12th. Same exact thing. I'm going to find you a woman from my in-laws for you to sleep with. And this is August the 13th. Same thing. You can ask law enforcement. They will tell you that this is exactly what he was trying to say, that he wanted to ask me if he could find me a woman from his in-laws for me to sleep with in exchange for illegal assurances of money or not. He did this every single day till it suddenly stopped on August the 13th. And you might be wondering, well, why did it stop on August the 13th? The reason it stopped on August the 13th was due to the fact that he actually went and he asked that woman, letting her know that he wanted to ask her if she was willing to sleep with me and commit incest with me or not in exchange for illegal assurances of money, because artificial intelligence had marked my brain savant as being literally the most rare and profitable in the world, and he was going to get illegal assurances of money from me, and that he was going to split it up between himself and that woman. Now, the thing about my dad, the greedy framer, is he's a pathological liar, and he tries to pretty much deny everything, but he can't deny everything due to the fact that this is very recent. August 18th is not that long ago. Okay, right now you have to look at the date. Right now it's August 19th. So this is not that long ago. Literally a day ago, an hour, 12 minutes past midnight, and he is sending me MoneyGram transfer ads for illegal assurances of money. And you might be thinking, well, he might just be asking you for money in general. How do you know it's brain savant money, and how do you know it's going to be millions of euros? Well, the reason we know it's millions of euros or dollars is due to the fact that his sisters sent me the $60 million blackmail price tag throughout the entire month of February and March, starting February 21st. And this is for March 5th, even though I denied it on February 21st. They still send it to me 8 times with their wishful thinking of weakening me out and trying to get me to give them illegal assurances of this money. Now, the thing about my dad, the greedy framer, is he is a pathological liar, and he tries to pretty much try and deny everything, but he cannot deny everything, mainly due to the fact that he has sent me numerous blackmail price tags. He sent it to me all day, every day, even after the one for July 9th and July 10th, he still sent it to me. Let me make a separate video, and I could show you more of those in 1 second.